I took down all the AI voice videos I made. Yeah, it's kind of getting to that point where I kind of have to now. Not even just because of the ever-growing rules and laws and regulations, which, now that I really think about it in retrospect, are kind of rightfully being put in place. I know this may very well disappoint a lot of you, especially with how many of the videos that had an emphasis on AI voices did pretty well. This disappoints me a lot too. I don't really want to do this, but due to newfound and new-formed circumstances, I feel I have no choice for various following reasons. AI is getting too damn good. Yeah, it's cool certain things can improve, but at the same time, not here. Like guys, this shit's literally meant to generate lifelike imagery in a matter of seconds. Like, this goes beyond the already established ethical and moral dilemmas of AI art, and hell, anything at this point being a substitute for already established pieces done by people. Obviously, credit goes to the person who spent days pouring passion into their piece compared to the bro who just typed a sentence into a prompt and then it's out in a matter of seconds. Hell, even compared to the person who coded it to begin with. But this is literally where it starts, mind you. Along with improvements to artificial intelligence, ethical dilemmas only grew bigger with them. Of course they would, and it's quite literally getting out of hand on both sides. There is quite literally an AI anything now, and the worst part of it is how corporations and official medias are now putting AI to use with promos and advertisements. And please, before you think it, this isn't a bash on AI 100%. I can't have this full-on throttle discussion in fairness and honesty on Twitter, that's for sure. Because I do believe wholeheartedly there can be legitimate, ethical, harmless usage of both AI-assisted tools and AI-generative tools. However, I've come to realize that it's also super dependent and situational in and of itself. For example, those who despise every single usage of AI art passionately, or those who have a massive hate boner towards it, I'm talking to you out there. Let's say I also not only could pick up a pencil, but I could draw really damn good, like really good. I could replicate pretty much any art style I wanted with ease. But I'm not very creative with this skill and talent that I have, and I want to make some drawings of a unique new character that hasn't been made before. What inherently is wrong with me in this hypothetical going to some form of AI art to generate me some ideas to use for my art? Or what is the difference between that and asking my pal Harold to draw up ideas for an OC for me, and he doesn't mind me just using that? And he also gets his ideas from taking multiple things he sees scouring the web. And I'm not using that as like a gotcha question, I'm genuinely asking here. What's the difference between using an idea from ChatGPT versus a good pal of mine who wouldn't mind me using their idea? I'm seriously asking in innocence, not to be right or wrong. I don't think AI should be a broad substitution for literally everything, let alone creativity in and of itself, but I do think there can be some leeway depending on its usage and where it goes. With the example I shined earlier, to add to it, let's say I create a show with that design. Should that be wrong even if everything else is man-made and I've come up with all the ideas for the stories, all the ideas for where the plot goes, everything else, but the only thing that was AI generated or assistance was the design itself of one character? I guess it doesn't really matter considering it's clear now it's going in the wrong direction. AI art, AI music, AI fucking videos that look all too real with no regulations or rules being put in place whatsoever for it to knock off. It's not getting us anywhere but downhill. Like I said, I did hear about the whole SAG-AFTRA thing and the laws being put in place for like AI voices and the rights of the dead and having to contact the states and stuff, but I don't really know what a tight grip that really has and what good that'll really do at the end of the day, especially now. And that uncertainty has also contributed to why I'm doing this. But why do literally anything if an AI can just do it all for you? And that's the point considering you got old boy Elon Musk down to fast track AI replacements to be opt-outing for labor and substitution of everything. I mean, come on. This was a mindset I had already kinda had in the early days of AI, but it was easily something I'd wave off as one, we, or at least I, had thought it'd take a bit longer to develop, and two, it really wasn't as bad then as it is now. I miss the days where AI generative shit was something we could easily just point to and laugh off, knowing good and damn well there was nothing really much to worry about. But with the direction we're heading and what's already been laid out, it's clear that today and a year ago are two separate separate stories. And again, I do think there can be select few harmless okay instances of use for AI so long as it's not used as a substitute for labor or creativity to an overextent. As I pointed earlier, I do believe there can be some leeway into that creativity part, but even then, that's still very situational. For another instance, I don't think AI art should ever be able to or allowed to generate things that are established properties, or hell, even trained to draw specific creations either. No one would want their original design replicated by an AI like that, so no, I don't think we should have AI Spider-Man running around here. Again, I think genuine original creations and ideas and such is fine if someone can. I'm open to having my mind changed more on this, but I do think and realize more there should be some mainstay boundaries that I can't even fully discover here as much as I want to in this video. So let's bring this back to me. Why did I take down all my AI voice videos? Well, bearing everything I previously said in mind as it amplified throbbing in mine for the past few months, I've began to realize that constantly flashing these disclaimers aren't really enough. It is true, I only ever made these for genuine fun, harmless entertainment, and I never for a split second endorse any malicious intent or usage of these tools. But again, like Kendrick Lamar said, it's not enough. And while I feel like my AI content had a lot more effort put in on the basis that I, had to animate it all as I felt as though it was a good blend of tools on my end and a generation's end, only thing was the constant question that was only egging at my head louder and louder over times as things got bigger on the scale. Would any of those voice actors be okay with their voices used like this even if the context is harmless? I know there are indeed some voice actors who don't like that, understandably so, for the same reasons of other generative props and other reasons outlined already atop of others. Sure, I haven't gotten a message or email establishing this directly in the case of what I've done, and as far as I know, others in the whole AI voice thing sphere haven't either. But again, some voice actors have made it public they're not on board. Like I said before, this whole thing is indeed very nuanced. Original AI voices would be a different, more innocent story, but the realization only grew when it came out to AI voice clones. Hell, even original AI voices could cause a concern of labor substitution for those in the voice acting field. Yeah, AI voices are kind of getting better at being more expressive. Did you know that? I know, right? Crazy. And see, if it were just one of these things, or just a harmless little few, or if we were in a more lighthearted age of AI evolution literally a year ago, this would be different. But all these things and more collectively combined together has brought me to realizations that I have no choice but to simply take these videos down. Leaning into more AI usage certainly wouldn't help the matter, as even official companies legitimizing it only causes more understandable concern. I want to establish and say I'm sorry to my audience, whoever took a strong liking to my AI videos compared to my other content. I know it's kind of a letdown, but I hope you can at the very least understand why I'm doing this. I want to also establish that those disclaimers I always shoved everywhere weren't for nothing. I meant every word. I didn't want to step on any toes at all then, nor do I want to do so now, which is why I'm leaning harder into this path. And again, this isn't an ultra hard anti-AI thing either. I think it's overall a very touchy-going, nuanced subject that has pros and cons. While they don't equate and I lean more into looking into the cons, I do genuinely believe that there are true pros to it that can go into innocent content creation. I think some usage can be justified, but certainly not all. And with its evolution, the cons are beginning to worsen and outweigh the pros. With all this and more, I can't even express all at once here. I have no choice but to say sayonara to the AI projects that could be unethical then and going forward. If anything, this is a strong chance that I'll bring them back, but with clear different voices that can't step on any toes. Thanks for watching, and I hope everyone understands.